Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, visitors from all digital roads, it is good to have you. It is good to hear from you. And I thank you very much for tuning in to our little itty bitty tiny table out in the middle of these little wild jungles as we read through scriptures, as we discuss scriptures, as we talk about all sorts of stuff. I think we're in the end times. I think we're seeing Bible prophecy being rolled out day after day, moment after moment, tweet after tweet. I see things that are happening right before our eyes, which are interesting to note. They are interesting to observe. And for those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, for generations now, there's basically what they call a global elite. We'll call them that. And they've been trying to produce what they call a new world order. And the new world order is very important to these people because it is the golden times. It is the times of greatness. And these people that are in this club, they don't worship the same Elohim that we do. They have a lot of them. And one of them is literally a half man, half woman goat. It's the Baphomet. It's literally a hermaphrodite goat. And one of the goat's hands are pointing up, the other goat's hands are pointing down. It's all occultic. Everything is symbolic. Everything that is all around us is completely controlled by signs and symbols. And you can take the back of your dollar bill, if you're in the U.S., and you can see a little pyramid, and you can see an all-seeing eye of Horus, or all-seeing eye of Satan, or you can see the signs and symbols that are all around. And these people are always about throwing numerology in various ways. And one of their favorite numbers is always 666. And it's always, they will group things like two sixes together. And their philosophy is where there's two sixes, there's always the third. And so they'll also do that with the number of 33. Because these people are very much fascinated with 33%. 1/3. When you talk about the angels that are falling from heaven and you're talking about the 33%, these guys are always tossing that out. And so when you guys see and observe these so-called news programming from the television programming, you will see them saying, oh, 33 dead, this is the 33 lane. They sit there and they spellcast. Part of the occult is to be able to manipulate the unseen realm that is all around us into a physical form. And the people that we're dealing with, the occultists, at some level are like magicians. They are the people that like to conjure and to manipulate the spiritual realm and manifest events in the physical realm based upon it. And it's all around us. And that's probably really deep down the rabbit hole. But it's something that we should all be observing because as guys like Elon Musk and Donald Trump are essentially bringing peace to the whole world, right? They're doing things that are absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, complete written and scripted in the Bible. And so we're seeing these things manifest right before our eyes. And you have to wonder, especially when Elon tweets out his very first, when Trump gets elected, about the New World Order. And Elon, there's pictures of this guy with a Baphomet Halloween costume, and he has all these guys. They worship another set of deities, and this is why we have commandments in our scriptures that say there's one Elohim. He's the creator of the universe. He deserves all worship. He deserves all praise. He deserves all of our respect and all of our attention. He has gifted us with this beautiful life that we have been able to do things with. He's given us the ability to choose right from wrong and to choose a path, to choose him. And people don't understand that when you say that our Creator's beautiful words are not important, then you have to understand that that's a foolish philosophy. None of us can do what our Creator has done. And so if any of us get a pompous head and think how great I am, that's a foolish thing. The only reason that we could ever be great whatsoever is because our Elohim has gifted us with these magnificent times and abilities that we can work our body and work our system and do things. And so we have one Creator and we have one set of rules and regulations that he has given to us, and he's given it to us inside of 5 books. Now, originally they weren't 5 books. They were just one big scroll and things, various scrolls. And it wasn't to Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. So when I say the first 5 books, I'm talking about a group of books that is called the Torah. And it is our manuscript for life that our Creator has given to us with a historical background from creation to basically where we are right now. And our Creator says, if you want to be my people, it's simple enough. You follow my ways. Well, what are his ways? Well, the first 5 books of Scriptures tells us exactly how our Creator wants us to worship, which is a 7th day, along with appointed times and seasons and moedines and things that we need to keep. He wants us to not treat our neighbor disrespectfully. He wants us to take care of our family. He wants us to have proper weights and measurements and be good people. And it's inside of these first 5 books that you will learn the heart and the desires of our Creator as he was walking amongst his people during the time when he was going amongst us in a cloud by day, a fire by night. One moment. So with our Creator walking amongst us and giving us these really good instructions on how we should live, operate, and basically function, when we reject them, it's at the expense of our spiritual health, our physical health, our family's health and well-being, how strong you are as a family. Because I will tell you, those families who are in Torah are some of the strongest families ever. And that doesn't mean that we don't have issues. We don't have problems. But it gives us a way that we should operate within our family, that both sides, there's a give and a take. And our Creator has created us in such a special way. And all of these special ways, from our body functions to our just how our Creator has given us these years to operate, everything is a gift. So all praise, all glory, all esteem, everything should be given back. That's loyalty. That's love. Love is obedience. Right? We will obey because we love. We're not obeying because we're under the hand of like a mighty killing ruler that is going to, that forces us, right? This is all a give-take system. And when we give back to our Creator who has given us everything, we are in a spiritual protection force. We are in a different group of people than the rest of the world who just live their life and have no desire to ever give back to our Creator who's given us so much. That's how I see my Creator. This is why I am very, very loyal to my Creator, because he has just blessed us and blessed me with so much, and he continues to. And every breath and every day that I can breathe and stay alive, I'm thankful that I have this ability. And so, guys, the minority of the world are the ones who are saved. And the majority of the world are those who can't make it past that gate, that small little gate in Matthew that we hear about, with the wide path that leads to destruction. So we want to be on this straight and narrow, and we want to write these laws, statutes, and commandments of our heart, mind, and soul. So the best thing that we can do is get into reading our scriptures every single day. Read with our families. Read as a unit. This is what we need to be. We need to be strong in scriptures. So I'm getting into this. Guys, this is still available right now, Yah Scriptures. It is a very amazing book. The smaller paperback is very much almost done. Miss Nicole has been really working hard on this, and it's quite an endeavor. The entire book process is quite an endeavor, and taking it from one size to the next size down and bringing it all back up is also an endeavor. And so there's a lot of words, there's a lot of pages, there's a lot of stuff that goes on to make this happen. And so our creator has definitely put together the right team. My wife is very astute at all of this and has lived her entire life doing kind of this stuff. And so this kind of end times team to get Yah Scriptures up and rolling has been something that is it's worked out very well. And so people love this book. It's also free, guys. You can go to yahscriptures.com, grab it, the downloads, and it's all free. So this, for those who do get the scriptures, it helps us to be able to show love to our brothers and sisters in chains. And that is pretty much where we dedicate a lot of our time right now. And there's a lot of stuff going on. We have another channel called Behind the Bars. If you guys have not seen it, it's a very interesting. You guys are able to see the effects of what we're going through with Yah Scriptures and the stories and the things that we learn from our brothers and sisters in chains. And not everybody in there. I firmly believe there are guys in there that are absolutely innocent of the crime they're being accused of. And there's dudes that are obviously guilty, and they say they're obviously guilty. And there's other people that, cases from like 25 years ago where they've taken a black dude, and there was 100% white jurors, and the prosecutor told a whole bunch of lies about the guy sexually assaulting this woman. When they had a rape kit, they had all of this stuff back in the day, and it all came up negative. And so they've left this guy out there for 20-some years. And this is a brother that just happened. We happened to get with him on death row. I got him Yah Scriptures, and he and I, we have a lot of emails, and we have a ton of correspondence. And, they have him slated to die. And I don't think he did this. I don't think he did the crime that he was accused of. And so the entire system is completely whacked. But it is because of the Yah Scripture prison ministry that we're able to stumble on to things like this and try to shine some light on it and try to get the right, it's one thing to actually have the right dude. It's another thing to have a bunch of dudes that like literally ran the system to get this guy stuck on death row. And 25 years later, here we are. And, anyway, there's a lot of stories coming out like this. Now let's get into this. And, it's one of the things is I love the prisoners because Messiah talks about, things, right? When he says, when I was in prison, did you visit me when I was thirsty, when I was hungry, all of these things. And he sums all that up, and he says that when you do this for the least of them, you're doing it for me. And when we do it for our Messiah, we are doing it for his Father, because he represents the kingdom. He represents his dad's wishes, his dad's ways, his dad's authority, his power, and the way forward. And so it is a very good system that we have with our Messiah, and it's very good leadership. I cannot wait for the moment that we have a moment with anybody of authority in the next kingdom that can give us some basic understanding of some things, right? Say, for instance, the calendar system. There's people that are dead set on this 13th month that is in scriptures, and the only verse they have is in Genesis. It talks about the sun and the moon being signs and for Moedim and things of this nature. And everybody goes for the third. I can't find it anywhere in scripture, so I don't know how people calculate it. So when Messiah comes, I'm going to go, how bad did I have it? How wrong did I have this calendar? How bad do I have these appointed times? Because we're so far beyond any of these days. We're just trying to understand exactly what they did during these appointed times and how they operated and what they mean. And so it's very important that we're showing our loyalty and our ability to learn and our ability to obey, even if we have the wrong dates, even if we have the wrong times. If we're off, we are off, right? We are human, but yet we are attempting to try, and we are going to what we understand. Sometimes, as we get new information or as things develop or the Ruach HaKodesh opens our eyes, we see things in a different way. But there's a difference between being obedient and not being obedient. So Messiah's going to sort this out. I think we're in good hands if we're giving it the college try and making sure it's happening. Okay? So here we are in the book of the Nazarene, the very last book in the book of Yah Scriptures, the book of Khalidi. And this is our Messiah as he's walking among the people, and the people are having issues, and the people are addressing him, and he is solving them in such a way that we understand how he's going to be ruling the kingdom to come. If we end up presenting to him with an issue, this is how he is going to give us his advice in the kingdom. So here we are. 17. Another disciple, another Talmud, said, "A good man soon loses his friends." Yahushua replied, "No, goodness like adversity winnows them." And that's a big thing, right? A lot of us have people that are around us simply because we have something that they want. It's very rare in life that you actually encounter like people that just like you, that are just there invested in you for all things. And as you go through life, you can count these people usually on one hand. And if you have multiple hands of those you can call upon during those times, and then you've been blessed in life. But Messiah very clearly says, adversity, it thins them out. It winnows them. Continuing on. One of the other Talmudim disciples said, "It is very difficult to live a life which is wholly good." Yahushua answered, "It is even more difficult to enter into the greater life of the Ruach." Okay, big things right there, right? The guy says it's hard to live a life which is really good. Messiah's answer is it's more difficult to enter into the greater life of the spirit is what it's saying, the Ruach. And so getting into the true Ruach HaKodesh, to where we are empowered of our Creator, the more cling that we are, the greater the power that is in us. The more that our lives align with the Torah, the more our hearts align with the way and the process of the Torah. And the Torah is a life force. It's a set of rules and regulations that we all live under, that those of us willing to accept as our ruling governance. This is what we say, okay, this is good, it sounds good, and who would really want to start taking roadkill off the side of the road and go frying it up, right? Those are some of the great instructions that those who are like, all food has been made clean, right? The all food has been made clean squad. They're like, oh yeah, as they eat just pig hoofs, right? My stepdad used to eat these pickled pig's feet. And I never ever ate one, and I never would, but it literally was a little jar of little pig's feet. And imagine that. Imagine that according to the book of Leviticus. Like everything in that jar, probably the jar itself, is completely abominable in the eyes of our Creator, yet people literally will eat that. And they eat it at their own expense, right? The pigs aren't clean to begin with. And then all of a sudden they have, I think those pigs' feet were like uncooked or something. I don't know what kind of savagery my stepdad used to eat with that stuff. I'm sure you guys know, but the more that we cling up ourselves, the greater power of the Ruach that will be wielded. And I truly believe that those who are the ones, and I wish I was the one, but those who are completely in every way, shape, and form cling in the eyes of our Creator and his ways. Those are good people. Those are the people that you want to know, and the people that are the kingdom people. And this is what we need to strive to be. The people like Abraham, the people like Isaac, Jacob. Imagine the patience of Jacob. And I told I was giving my kids heck the other day. I'm like, imagine the poor Jacob and his ways. And my kids reminded me that it was simply more likely because he loved the youngest more than all the rest of them that the youngest got a target and ended up down the well. So there's a lot of parenting issues. But at the same time, I'm telling you, raising that many young stallions and bucks, he surely had gray hair early on in his life. Now, continuing on. 21. The words surprise those hearing them. Okay. And then the words hearing them is even more difficult to enter into the greater life of the Ruach. But Yahushua assured the Talmudim about him that it was true, adding, nothing worthwhile is easily gained. Okay. This trumps all this religious rhetoric of Christianity. Imagine if the Christians truly understood that the kingdom is not this lawless, rebel, eat what you want, do what you want, worship how you want, act how you want, raging Gentile life, right? It isn't that. Even those of us who keep the Torah and love our Elohim and love his ways and love his son should worry about, are we that clean? Or have we become pure? Have we done and chopped all this evil out of our lives so that we absolutely are a good candidate for the kingdom? And a lot of us have a lot of work. I got a lot of work. We're all working through this, but nothing worthwhile is ever easily gained. You know, that talk about the rapture. How easy is that, right? My mom truly believes that she will be sitting there macking down the pig chops on a Sunday, worshiping in the church of man, and she's going to be raptured away, and she's going to be into a place, and it's just a lovey-dovey place. It's unbiblical. It is absolutely unbiblical. Now, Yahushua continued, let all who can do so empty themselves of evil. The deeds are outside, but the thoughts are within. Okay, let's talk about that, right? The deeds are outside, but the thoughts are within. We know from the actual verse that the chapter where all the Christians have freed themselves from the cling food laws, that it's really what comes out of a man from their heart that defiles them, right? It's one thing that we have evil thoughts, or that we have the capability of having these evil thoughts or unclean thoughts. It's another one when we let the rhythm and the reverberations of the vibrations come off of our tongues as we bring the evil into existence, right? It's one thing that we corrupted ourselves and had thought that thought, but it's yet another when we have brought that gym kind of joke out into fruition. And so this is a lot what I was saying in the last chapter. Messiah says it, let all who can do so empty themselves of evil. Okay, how do we know what evil is? Guys, we have the Torah, right? We have the Torah and we have the Besorah. We have the first 5 books of scriptures, and we have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And then we have all of these other books, including the Apocrypha, which 100% back up what happens in the first 9 of these standard traditional foundational books. It is all the same thing. It is a pattern for the people of our Creator that if they want to obey our Creator, then they become qualified to enter into the kingdom of our Creator. That's the bottom line. And it's not that we simply have a Messiah and that we address our Messiah and we ask our Messiah into our heart, because that's not biblical, right? What is that going to do? If you are a Torah-less person, inviting the Messiah into your heart when our Messiah says, depart from me, you who are lawless, it makes no sense. And so continuing on, Messiah says, by striving hard and chastening the flesh, not yielding to the call of its lusts, the soul is strengthened by an inflow of spiritual food. Okay, huge stuff, right? By striving hard and chastening the flesh. This is what every day can be, right? We may fall down. We need to stand up, and we need to dust our knees off. We need to dust our elbows off, and we need to address the pothole that we just went in. Why did we just fall over? What just occurred that we have done something that is against the ways of our Creator? When have we done this? And there's a lot of ways. Simply by not doing some certain things, we're not taking care of our neighbor. We're not loving our neighbor as ourselves. There's a lot of things that we don't do that will be held accountable for us. And so there's a lot of ways to the kingdom. But by striving hard and chastening the flesh, not yielding to the call of its lusts, the soul is strengthened by an inflow of spiritual food. Huge stuff, right? So much to be right here. The call of its lust, right? The flesh and the not yielding to the call of its lust. That is what the people of the kingdom get into check, right? This is where we are not those people of the world. It's easy to watch these rated R horrible shows with all this Hollywood programming, demonic forces, and all these people that have literally sold their soul to the devil, right? That's the spirit of the lust, right? Watching those horrible TV programs, infusing things that are unholy, unkodesh into our hearts, minds, and souls, right? So we have to make sure that if we don't have a porn addiction, that porn addiction becomes something of the past, that it's that one day at a time, that we don't keep going into this horrible, demonic world of pornography that is completely abnormal of what the real world is like. It's all fake. It is all phony, and people don't get that. Those that are stuck in this crazy world don't realize it's not reality. Continuing on, the soul is strengthened by an inflow of spiritual food. What is spiritual food? Spiritual food is us walking the Torah life as we try to strive the Torah life, as we try to become citizens of the kingdom. It's a very important thing. We get more Ruach HaKodesh by the strengthening of our spirit, by the bonding of our ways with the Torah of our Elohim. That is why we need to know the Torah. Why we have a commandment in Deuteronomy 6. It says, write this on our heart, mind, and soul, press it up on our children, write it on our gates, put it on the doorposts of our house, put it frontlets before our eyes, the filters of anything in our life. We don't make decisions without the Torah. We don't make decisions without consulting our Creator in prayer. That's what the Torah life is about, because there is a gateway. There's a cool kids club card that we get by being members of those who are trying to be obedient to our Creator. Definitely, the people of our Creator have a better line of credit, per se, when it comes to situational prayer requests or issues or things we are struggling with. We've been given a direct line right to our Creator, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, continuing on. 28. Wow, maybe I shouldn't continue on. We're already there, guys. I think we need to go one more on this. So let's check this out. 23. Then Yahushua asked the Talmudim with him. He asked his disciples if all understood that unless they could pass the tests of the flesh, they could not know the Shamayim. All replied that they understood. Okay, guys. So the question to you guys out there: do you guys understand that we have to pass the test of the flesh, or we're not going to know the Shamayim? So whatever the tests of the flesh are in each individual one of our lives, we need to make sure that we are proper people. That when the kingdom has the ability to let us enter, that there's not huge changes in our lives, that we have already adjusted our lives and our actions and our ways to that of the citizens of the kingdom. And we know what that's like because we have our words of our Messiah, how he wants us to act, how he says nothing worthwhile is ever easily gained, which should be a very big concern to all of us, right? We understand that this is the real world is the Torah walk. And I've said it before, is when you are in the matrix. You believe that all the laws have been nailed to the cross. You believe there's a different kind of a God and a different kind of a Jesus, and these guys have come up with a different way and a pattern, and that this Jesus has come to free the bondage. And what they've done is they've lied to everybody, and they've actually said that the Torah is bondage, and that's just a lie from the mouth of Satan. Because the Torah is not bondage. It is absolute freedom. It is absolute ease to keep. It is absolutely something that all of us can keep as we study it. It's not something that's hard. There's no mystery to it. It's black and white, and it's good ideas. It's really super good ideas. Going against the Torah is at the detriment of your physical health and life. Bad things can happen if you go against it, right? Talk about endangering your neighbor. We have a commandment: don't endanger your neighbor. Imagine chainsawing a giant tree down. You don't give a rip about your neighbor, and you end up like dropping a tree on top of your head as well. So there's all sorts of bad things that can happen if we don't think about Torah commands as we are living our life. So guys, with that, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you're good until we can meet again. Much love to all of you guys out there. I'm out.